I'm Harry Belafonte. We are here today to show our support for our Asian brothers and sisters. I was born here in New York City, and I'm the proud son of Jamaican parents. Throughout my life, I've faced discrimination. It wasn't okay then, and it isn't okay now. We are family, and it is important that we stand up for one another.
Hello everybody, my name is Doug E. Fresh. I stand with 1199. I stand with Harry Belafonte. I stand with Reverend Al Sharpton against hate and anybody that's bringing hate against the Asian community. We gotta stop this. We're better than this. Let's change this.
I'm Janice Marie Johnson, singer, songwriter, and bassist of A Taste of Honey. I'm here today in support of my Asian and Pacific Islander brothers and sisters. I want you to know that I stand with you against the violence, the racism, the discrimination that has been inflicted upon you. As a woman of color, I know your pain and your fear. As I stand with you, I invite all of God's children to stand with me because it's important. It's necessary to stand up for and with one another. Together, we have the power to shift the consciousness of all of those hate-filled hearts filled with misguided beliefs. Together, as one, we can change the world. I'm with you. I stand with you. Let's get started, y'all. Let's replace hate with love.
As we mourn with victims of AAPI violence across the country, we are also outraged. We will never tolerate the marginalization or stereotyping by any group who wants to build their power by sowing hatred.
As we mourn with victims of anti-Asian, Pacific Islander, racist violence across the country, we are also outraged. We will never tolerate the marginalization or stereotyping of any group by those who want to build their own power by sowing hatred. Today and every day, we stand with our AAPI family.
Hi, this is Garcelle Beauvais. I just want to take the time to say that we have got to stop the Asian hate. Enough is enough. Let's get back to kindness and humanity.
We will never tolerate the marginalization or stereotyping of any group by those who want to build their own power by sowing hatred. Today and every day, we stand with our AAPI family. We stand in committing to supporting the AAPI community and doing all we can to build a vocal and a united coalition that stands against racism and in defense of our AAPI family.
Today and every day, we stand with our AAPI family. We stand with 1199 SCIU, the largest healthcare union in the country, as well as the National Action Network, in committing to supporting the AAPI community and doing all we can to build vocal and a united coalition that stands against racism and in defense of our AAPI family.
We stand with 1199 SEIU, the largest healthcare union in the country, as well as the National Action Network, in committing to support AAPI community and doing all we can to build a vocal and a unified coalition that stands against racism and in defense of the AAPI family.
Today and every day, we stand with our AAPI family because an injury to one of us is an injury to all of us. Join us in lending your support.
Because an injury to one of us is an injury to all of us. Join us in lending your support. Stop Asian hate.
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 My brothers and sisters, I'm standing here in the pulpit of Greenleaf Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, after having preached a sermon dealing with the issue of otherization. I'm also the president of Repairs of the Breach and the national co-chair of the Poor People's Campaign. When Brother Gresham called me and said, listen, we need to stand with our Asian brothers and sisters, particularly in this season of so much violence, racial violence, that's being first sown through violent words. and then being actualized through violent deeds. We cannot stand apart. So today, I want to declare, I'm an Asian. We have to claim one another and not allow the forces of this world to make us other than, to separate us. Whether it is violence, racial violence against black people, or Latinos, or indigenous native people, or whether it's racial violence against white people, or violence against people because of their class, their economic status, or whether it's violence against our Asian brothers and sisters, it is wrong. And we must non-violently challenge all of this death and killing. We really don't have the time in the times in which we live to try to figure out who's suffering the most. Why don't we just stand against suffering? Why don't we just stand against suffering? Why don't those of us who know the ugliness of racial history as black people just automatically say, and that's why I stand with my Asian brothers and sisters or my Latino brothers and sisters? Why don't we just stand against violence, whether it's against gay people or straight people or it doesn't matter. At some point, we must become so sick of the violence, so bothered by the violence, that we have an eternal dissatisfaction and an everlasting commitment to love and truth and justice. My grandmother used to ask me, what are you going to do in the meantime? And I would ask her, what do you mean by that? She said, these are some mean times. What you gonna do? And I think about that question often. In the meantime, am I gonna choose the meanness, or am I gonna choose God's mercy, God's love, God's truth? Am I gonna choose in a way that the mean times don't have to be the only time, and that the mean times do not have to have the last word? Let's choose the latter. And let's join arm in arm, hand in hand, heart in heart. Regardless of who you are, Asian, black, brown, Latino, indigenous, white. The last time I checked, we were all made from one blood. We're all one people. And we either live together or we'll die because we tore ourselves apart. God bless you. And again, I say today, though on my birth certificate it says I'm a black man with indigenous and Caucasian descent, in the midst of all this violence toward Asian people, today I declare I too am Asian. And I too stand with my brothers and sisters and declare their right to a full, free,